would you like to have your thighs and your glutes firm and well-shaped? Yes, by the end of this video, you're going to have 3 fundamental moves that you possibly know, but with the right technique so that you can do them anywhere at home, for instance, just by following the instructions that I have worked for thousands of my students in person and online, in group settings and in personal settings. So no excuses. Let's get to it. All right, after you're warmed up, you can do squats. You see, you probably knew them already. This is like, I call it a plie squat. Sometimes they call it a sumo squat. And the idea is that you go from level 1, 2, and 3. You know, the deeper you go, the more you work. And once you've got the right technique, that includes this, for instance, to have your knees aligned with your feet. You can see it in the mirror, possibly. You see, I'm not going like that. My knees are going in the same direction. Then you could add weights, which we will. But right now, I want to show you the right technique to do this. So level 1, 2, and 3, you go deeper into it, all right? There's other types of squats, many. The typical squat where you go level 1, 2, and 3, and your thighs are parallel to the floor. And I like to teach the squat all the way down, like a goblet squat, like you saw in my last live on Instagram, okay? So you can start here. You can even do some progressions with a chair, with a bar, so you can get some support as you go down, and your knees don't go over your feet. Your knees are staying here, okay? They're staying. So you sit back. You really sit back. All right, this is really important. Before I go on to the next move, I want to show you how I would do it with the weights. So when it comes to a plie squat or sumo squat, I can go 1, 2, 3 like that, you see? I can use the weights here in the front, here in the back, here. There's so many things you can do. And of course, this is really not enough weight for me right now, but it may be just the right weight for you to start with. I don't know. But you can just start with your own body weight, you see? When we go to the traditional squat, you can see my feet on the mirror, okay? My feet are firmly planted, and like I said, you don't go forward with your knees like that. Your knees stay, let's see, behind your toes. That's what I wanted to tell you, okay? And now you're just gonna sit back, sit back, sit back. And the arms could just go here. And it's great when you have a machine, like a Smith machine at the gym, but you don't need one. You can use other props and just your balance to actually sit, 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 sit. And yes, I like to sit all the way down and go all the way up, even with military press up with the dumbbells. And I love to use, as you know, my kettlebells. Okay, so I can use the kettlebells in the first move that I showed you. I can use them here. And if I do this squat, then you're going to sit back. This would be like level 1, 2, and level 3. You go all the way down, as I taught you in my life. This is just a move that I wanted to show you. I'm not going to do it all the way because you'd have to go like with only one weight, or maybe both of them right here, and then you go, okay, and you use your whole body to push yourself up with power. Next move is the deadlift, okay? You can start with your knees bent, and so you're going forward like that. 1, 2, level 3, and then you come up. That's it. Many things that could go wrong. Yes, most people make this mistake, and yes, we'll have more videos about this, so let me know in the comments what you think is the most hard of these moves, or the hardest for you. Maybe going all the way down with the stiff leg, or with that straight legs is harder than with the legs a bit bent. You see, that's one of the reasons. But most people don't have a straight back. And that's one of the fundamental things is that I like to teach and correct in the coaching. So you can actually go all the way down. And then once you do that with your own body weight, then you can use, for instance, these dumbbells, and you go all the way down like 1, 2, See, this would be a whole move. 1, 2, and up, 2. How many? I'll teach you on another video because we're talking about 9 to 15 sets a week. You could divide that into 3 trainings. I would say no more than 2 trainings a week, unless you train really hard, just 1 day a week, and that's enough for your legs and glutes, okay? So the deadlift is fundamental, and now you know how to do it, and you saw that my legs are separated about hip width apart. Not too wide, not necessarily, well, sometimes I'll do it like this. But for the most part, we want to have more stability, and that's why we prefer hip width apart legs and our feet firmly planted. And yes, bare feet is the best. Bare feet is better than shoes. So try not to wear shoes anymore if possible, now that you're staying more time at home. I think for the most part we are. So yeah, make the best of your training. And last but not least are the lunges. There's so many types of lunges, and you know that I have taught you so many in 9 years that I've been doing this YouTube channel. But this time I just want to tell you that the most easy, simple, fundamental, practical, functional one, and by the way, all these moves are functional, is the one where you just stay here, you straddle, 1 leg forward, 1 leg back, okay? And the weight is not forward, the weight is not back, the weight is centered right there, okay? And you can start just like 1, you can see it in the mirror, 2, 3, and 4, and switch. All right, and how did we straddle? Well, we started with our feet also separated, hip width apart, and up. Okay, that's it, basically it. Those are the 3 moves that I wanted to show you. And yes, we can add weights to it once we got the technique right. Technique is really a matter of doing things correctly, and we're never perfect. So even if I've been doing this for so long and I have a ballet advantage, yes, I had 4 years of ballet, actually 8 years. So it's like, for me, it's like a port de bras. A port de bras, it's like to go this, like that. I practiced that for 8 years. And so for me, it's really easy to go into the deadlift like that. For me, it's really easy to do a sumo squat with my back super straight, you know? Okay, and then there are things that I didn't do that now are more challenging. But what I'm teaching you right now is something that I basically mastered. And you can get to the mastery if you do it gradually, all right? This is super important. So I would add some weights. You can start with the small ones that are so cute. I love these. And yes, there's so many variations, like just stepping like that. You step, go down, up, and you come back. Step, down. You see my weight is centered, up and down. And you could exhale and you could smile at the same time. Right? All right, and again, step, lower, up, and back, and switch. Oh, yeah, were we switching? No, I forgot, I think we were. All right. As you know, it's important to work with as much weight, reps, and sets on both legs because we want to be symmetrical. We want to have the same strength, the same power, and about techniques, so many different ones. I just taught you a couple, but there's many that I have taught you, like these going back. All right, some of my favorite moves are functional. I've been even practicing them. Even when I'm picking up something in my office, it's like, okay, let me practice. I'm picking up a cable here, so okay. You pick up the cable, but then you have to do it with the other leg. It's like, okay, I'll do it with the other leg. All right, I will. And then you pick up something with the other leg. So you could go on, and what is that? Well, that's a lunge because it starts with a lunge, and then it goes into what I like to call the warrior 3, Virabhadrasana 3, right? Yeah, so you're in the lunge, you're actually down here, and then from here, you get the power to go into the Virabhadrasana, which for me is like an arabesque. So I do have the advantage of ballet, but you don't need to do ballet in order to do the right technique in these moves that are really fundamental. And yes, it's good to have some of these kettlebells, and I'm gonna do a little summary here with 4 reps. Sumo, 1, 2. You see, by the end of the video, you already have 3 fundamental moves to shape up your butt, to shape up your legs. And it's not just the quads, it's the hamstrings, and it's the glutes. And as if that weren't enough, your whole body gets a workout because you are using your core. You see? You have to do it with me in order to feel it. But don't try it at home if you're not warmed up. It's really important to have your warm-up. And now let me give you the tips. Now that I finished the 3 moves with the technique, important to use your core at all times, even when you lower the weight. As many times you see even instructors who do a wonderful move, they say they do this really beautifully, and then they go and take the weights and they go like that. And I'm like, what are you doing? That's the idea, to carry your own beautiful balance with you wherever you go. Eat and drink mostly plant-based or vegan. Move around more, get physical, and absolutely stay positive. Focus on what you do have, be grateful for what you already have, but also strive for more as you are grateful. And yes, by giving more of yourself, of your energy, of your time, of your money, you're gonna feel better. So it's almost something selfish, and I could go on and on, but you taking care of yourself and you being at your best, guess what? Makes all the difference in the world. Thank you. Grazie mille. Au revoir. Oh, let me say it in French. Merci beaucoup. Bye-bye.